Hello dear viewers, and welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the most mesmerizing, intricate, and sometimes downright scandalous stories from the world of the British royal family. Today, we have a tale that's as glittering as it is deeply revealing, a tale that's not just about jewels and gowns, but also about power, legacy, pain, healing, and the delicate dance of public duty. Because after months of hushed concerns, health rumors, and heart-wrenching uncertainty, Princess Catherine has made a return so breathtaking, it might well mark the beginning of a new royal chapter. This wasn't just any society appearance. It was the State Banquet at Windsor Castle, an evening dripping in centuries-old ceremony, curated diplomacy, and silent signals only insiders truly grasp. But this time, it was also a spotlight on Catherine herself. How she appeared, what she wore, what it all meant, every detail seemed charged with fresh meaning. And oh, what a sight it was. After a year largely spent out of the public eye, fighting personal health battles that had left the nation collectively worried, Catherine emerged on July 8, 2025, to host French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte in the majestic halls of Windsor. And just like that, all the anxious whispers about her fragility were replaced by awed gasps at her resilience. She arrived in a striking custom crimson gown designed by Sarah Burton for Givenchy, a silhouette so fluid it seemed sculpted by candlelight. The caped train trailed behind her like liquid silk, catching every camera flash. Her posture, calm yet commanding, hinted at an inner strength that had weathered storms we might never fully understand. But while fashion reporters raved about the dramatic gown, the real thunderclap was far subtler and pinned right to her shoulder. For there, glinting softly beneath the chandeliers, was a royal honor no tabloid could fabricate: the Royal Family Order of King Charles III. This delicate portrait brooch, surrounded by diamonds and tied with a silk ribbon, was placed just above the similar order she had received years ago from the late Queen Elizabeth II. To the untrained eye, perhaps it seemed like just another ornament. But make no mistake, this was a declaration. These personal orders are not distributed by government or even by protocol. They're intimate tokens, bestowed by the reigning sovereign to recognize exceptional service and personal loyalty. For over 2 centuries, they have signaled who truly stands at the monarch's side. The fact that Catherine now wears not only Elizabeth's but also Charles's own insignia sends an unmistakable message: she is not just the future queen, she is this monarchy's present beating heart. It is a staggering thing to consider, how quietly this woman has grown into the most pivotal royal figure after her husband and father-in-law. In private, insiders suggest the bond between Catherine and King Charles has deepened immensely during his recent health trials. While the king grapples with his own treatments, still unconfirmed in public statements but widely understood in royal circles, he has leaned on Catherine, seeing her as a steadying force not just for William, but for the entire House of Windsor. And then there was the tiara. The lover's knot crafted by Gerard in 1914 for Queen Mary, laced with teardrop pearls and enough diamonds to catch every trembling breath in the ballroom. Once upon a time, it belonged to Princess Diana. She wore it often, though not always comfortably. Palace aides whispered about headaches from its sheer weight. After Diana's tragic death, the tiara retreated into a vault, gathering quiet shadows until it found its way to Catherine. And when she wears it, it's hard not to see more than just historical continuity. It feels like a bridge between 2 royal women, each beloved by millions, each pressed under the same searing scrutiny. Observers noted how Catherine balanced this potent heirloom with more intimate touches. Drop earrings once gifted by Queen Elizabeth II herself. A clutch embroidered with lily of the valley, the late monarch's favorite bloom, a delicate tribute that spoke of memory and reverence. Even her sash, heavy with insignias of both British and French orders, seemed to whisper of Catherine's careful diplomacy. She's not just stepping into Diana's shoes, she's shaping them anew, crafting a narrative of continuity laced with healing. And let's not pretend it was all pageantry for the cameras. This evening at Windsor was laden with deeper stakes. Earlier that very day, Catherine had greeted the Macrons in a soft pink Dior dress and a Jess Collette hat, a look that was all approachable elegance. Smiles were broad, handshakes warm. But by nightfall, she had transformed into the monarchy's ultimate power symbol, standing under glittering chandeliers with every inch telegraphing stability. Even the meal had a message. King Charles, ever the lover of heritage and cross-cultural ties, tapped famed French chef Raymond Blanc to co-design the first course and the dessert. A subtle nod that though Brexit might have reshaped political maps, the personal and cultural ties between Britain and France, two countries long intertwined by rivalry, alliance, and romance, remained robust. And it was Catherine, more than anyone, who embodied that subtle statecraft. Her mere presence reassured the British public. Here was their future queen, radiant after months of worry. Her composure suggested that despite private struggles, the institution stands firm. But beneath this glitter lies something raw, something quietly painful. Because Catherine's year out of the spotlight was not merely a pause for fashion intrigue. It was a year shadowed by whispered fears about her health, rumors swirling so intensely that even seasoned royal watchers were rattled. What if her absence wasn't temporary? What would become of the monarchy's future image, so heavily invested in William and Catherine as the next generation? This night at Windsor was therefore not just a triumph of sartorial splendor, it was a whispered sigh of relief for the palace itself. The firm needs Catherine, perhaps more than it ever needed Diana, because in Catherine they have found a figure who balances modern relatability with an unflinching loyalty to the institution. She embodies motherhood, charitable compassion, quiet steel, and an elegant nationalism that reassures even the most cynical British press. Insiders at Windsor later murmured that the king watched Catherine closely that evening, his expression a blend of paternal pride and profound gratitude. After all, she represents not just continuity, but also redemption, proof that this battered dynasty can still inspire devotion without the chaos of past decades. And as Catherine stood with the Macrons, laughter floating above crystal glasses, her hand lightly resting on the lover's knot tiara, you could see decades of carefully layered symbolism glistening with every turn of her head. The monarchy is built on such symbols, jewels, orders, family portraits, and each time Catherine dons them, she breathes new life into old myths. So yes, this banquet was diplomacy. Yes, it was spectacle. But it was also something simpler, more vulnerable, a mother of three, a woman who had fought through a private battle, standing steady once again before the flashbulbs and carrying the crushing expectations of history with a smile. And that, dear viewers, is why the world couldn't take its eyes off her. So what do you think? Is Catherine's return a sign that the royal family's future is secure, or does it reveal just how much the House of Windsor now depends on one woman's fragile strength? Should the palace be worried that so much rests on her shoulders alone? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. We love hearing your takes, whether supportive, skeptical, or sharply witty. And of course, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the heart of royal pageantry, please give us a like and subscribe. We have many more stories lined up, because when it comes to the British royals, the jewels may glitter, but it's the hidden cracks that tell the real tale. Stay tuned.